Everyone knows that whales are huge creatures and the largest mammals on Earth. But what do the biggest of them look like? Where do they live? And what can they do? Now you'll learn and see everything. In this episode, I'll show you the largest whales in the world caught on camera, share interesting facts about whales, and show you the most impressive whale jumps that will amaze you. Let's go. Early observations. The largest animal in the world is the blue whale. Moreover, it's the largest animal of all time, so we're lucky to live at the same time as these giants. On average, blue whales reach 100 feet in length and weigh about 330,000 pounds. However, there have been larger creatures. The largest recorded individual was a female slaughtered by whalers in 1926 near the South Shetland Islands in Antarctica. It was 110 feet long. This whale was not weighed, but its mass was apparently well over 330,000 pounds. There's also evidence that in 1947, near South Georgia, whalers caught a 418,000-pound blue whale. A whale weighing about 399,000 pounds is also known. Unfortunately, the observations were early, so there are no photos or videos of these individuals. We have to take the eyewitness's word. But what about real giants caught on camera? There are some, and one of them seems to have broken the all-time record. In 2012, a giant blue whale swam into the coastal waters of Australia. It was about 100 feet long and weighed over 441,000 pounds. The marine giant was seen by a group of tourists on a boat in the waters of Sydney Harbor. Blue whales in these places are very rare in general, let alone one weighing more than 440,000 pounds. They're rare even on the high seas, and it's an unbelievable luck to catch such a giant on camera by the bay. Antarctic subspecies. In general, it must be said that the blue whale is not the largest animal on the planet. More precisely, it is indeed the largest, but to be as precise as possible, the blue whale is a species that includes several subspecies. It's among these subspecies that we should look for a record breaker, and the Antarctic blue whale it is. The main difference of the subspecies is a larger size, but in general, the Antarctic blue whale is the same as the common blue whales. This giant is astonishing in size. These giants regularly grow to 100 feet or more and weigh over 397,000 pounds. Even such a land giant as the African bush elephant would seem dwarfed by this Antarctic inhabitant, because one such whale alone weighs as much as 30 elephants. In order to stay in shape and remain always large, the Antarctic blue whale must eat well, and it has no problem with that. It can eat over 3.5 tons of krill in a day. Scientists did simple calculations and concluded that an Antarctic blue whale eats about as much food in just a couple of weeks as an average human in 70 years. That's saying a lot. In addition to an incredible appetite, the Antarctic blue whale boasts an incredible heart. These giants have a big heart in every sense of the word. First, blue whales are good-natured creatures that don't attack people. And second, the heart of the Antarctic giant is comparable in size to a car and weighs about a ton. Plus, the whale's tongue alone weighs 4 tons. It's all the more surprising that with all these giant body parts, the throat of the blue whale is tiny, only 4 inches in diameter. So there's no question of any people in the stomachs of whales. All's well in Antarctic blue whales and blue whales in general, except for the population size. Unfortunately, the blue whale is an endangered species. No more than 10,000 individuals remain in the wild, so it's possible that these giants will be gone in our lifetime. But let's not talk about such sad things. Let's switch to a mini quiz. Do you know which whales follow the blue whales in terms of size? If you thought fin whales, you were right. The fin whale or herring whale is a species of whale in the rorqual whale family with a respectable size. They're not much inferior to blue whales in length. It's as much as 88.5 feet. However, they weigh considerably less, about 154,000 pounds. Fin whales inhabit the whole world but are found practically only in the open sea. These shy giants try to avoid coastal areas. Fin whales can be called the tricksters of the whale world. They swim fast, dive well, and deeply and maneuver well. The maximum recorded speed of the fin whale is 31 miles per hour, and the depth of diving exceeds 820 feet. Due to its agility, the fin whale can outrun many giant blue whales and can feed not only on krill and plankton, but also on small schooling fish. Sperm whale. Another giant whale is the legendary sperm whale. If fin whales and blue whales can be called relatives, they belong to the Balaenoptera or finback whale genus. Then the sperm whale is a more distant relative of these giants. It belongs to the sperm whale genus and is a toothed whale. By the way, it's the largest toothed whale on the planet. Adult males reach an average length of 59 to 65 feet and weigh about 88,000 pounds, while females are 36 feet long and weigh 33,000 pounds. The sperm whale is an excellent example of the clear difference in size between females and males. In contrast to kind fin whales and blue whales, the sperm whale is not such an easy guy. It's considered a very aggressive animal. It probably won't attack without a reason, but when wounded, it's very aggressive. Because of this, in the past, hunting it has been very risky. Angry sperm whales have killed many whale hunters and even sank several whaling ships. Not surprisingly, the famous novel Moby Dick by Herman Melville, in which the giant sperm whale represents the forces of evil and destruction, is dedicated to the sperm whale. Besides sperm whales, fin whales, and blue whales, there are many other whales in the world, and many of them are enormous in terms of size. But why is this the case in the first place? Why did whales become so big? There are several theories on this. According to one hypothesis, they became so big simply because they could. The aquatic environment keeps weight and allows moving easily, so that a whale can easily find enough food, even if that food is tiny sea crustaceans. According to another version, cetaceans increased in size because of huge predators that once long ago inhabited the seas and oceans. After all, in order not to get into the jaws of a huge ancient shark, they had to become as big as possible. A few years ago, scientists conducted a study and came to even more interesting conclusions. By comparing the skulls of several dozen extinct and modern species of whales, they found that, divided into several groups, whales initially didn't grow very actively, and for quite a long time, even the largest species didn't exceed 33 feet in length. Only about 4.5 million years ago, there was a kind of leap, and whales dramatically increased in size. Scientists believe it was due to the ice age at the time. The approaching glaciers regularly melted and carried a lot of nutrients into the ocean, which served as food for small crustaceans and other small animals. And whales, as we remember, get their food by scooping small creatures out of the water. In this case, it's important that the whale has a big mouth. The bigger it is, the more effective the whale will filter its food. In other words, when feeding on plankton, it's better to be big than small. At the same time, plankton is not evenly distributed throughout the ocean. Somewhere there's always more of it, and somewhere there's less of it. Scientists believe that whales evolved and grew because they had to swim a lot in search of plankton, and you swim better if you're big. So you could say that whales got big because of food. The whale's incredible size is definitely their main feature, but there's something else associated with whales: their amazing jumps. Despite weighing tens of tons, these beautiful animals are able to leap filigree out of the water, making a lasting impression. Let's take a look at the coolest jumps of these sea giants. From the water. I think you've seen whales jumping, which is usually filmed from the shore or a boat. But what about some footage right there, from under the water? Diver and photographer Bo Pilgrim was lucky to shoot a unique video of a humpback whale jumping, and at the same time, Bo remained unharmed. While Bo was scuba diving, the humpback whale jumped high out of the water and landed like a ton of bricks. That's great footage. Here's a similar footage. Photographer Patrick Davis and his girlfriend decided to spend the day together and went snorkeling near Okinawa Island, Japan. The already awesome vacation got even more incredible when a huge humpback whale jumped out next to the couple. The giant whale soared into the air and landed just a few meters away from Patrick and his girlfriend, leaving them absolutely thrilled. Boats and kayak. As a rule, when whales jump out of the water, the maximum that threatens people is splashes. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes whales can land directly on a ship. For example, in May of this year in Mexico, a whale jumped out of the water and landed on a yacht, injuring 2 passengers. Luckily, there were no fatalities. That's all, guys. Would you like to see a giant whale in person? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.